Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Vijana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Madhava ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Matajis, and all the devotees that may listen online. Today we read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, the status quo. We are now on chapter 26, entitled Fundamental Principles of Material Nature, and text 40. Good. So only Toshini and Mataji. Understand? Mataji, you come for class? Yes. You speak English? Yes. Super. Okay, good. Yes. We have a Russian translation, if needed, but yeah. Okay, so I will do word by word to begin with, okay? Jyotanam, illumination. Panchanam, cooking. And digesting. Panam, drinking. Adanam, eating. Himamadanam, destroying cold. Tejasa, of fire. Ritaya, functions. To, indeed. Etaha, these. Shosanam, evaporating. Shoot, hunger. Treat, first. Eva, also. Cha, and. Oh, no, my dear, you do not. Thank you, Amrita, that somehow you predicted that I need pens today. But she needs maybe like this one. Okay. We like to encourage in the ladies' class that their children are there, but yeah, she will see. So, line by line, okay. Dyotanam pachanam panam. Dyotanam pachanam panam. Adanam himamadanam. Adanam himamadanam. Tejaso vritayastvataha. Tejaso vritayastetaha. Shoshanam shutridevacha. Jyotanam pachanam panam. Jyotanam pachanam panam. Adanam himamadanam. Tejaso vritayastve etaha. Tejaso vritayastve. Shoshanam shutridevacha. Shoshanam shutridevacha. Please, somebody. Jyotanam pachanam panam. Adanam himamadanam. Tejaso vritayastetaha. Shoshanam shutridevacha. Okay, so translation by His Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Fire is appreciated by its light and by its ability to cook, to digest, to destroy cold, to evaporate, and to give rise to hunger, thirst, eating, and drinking. Purport. The first systems of fire are distribution of light and heat, and the existence of fire is also perceived in the stomach. Without fire, we cannot digest what we eat. Without digestion, there is no hunger and thirst or power to eat and drink. When there is insufficient hunger and thirst, it is understood that there is a shortage of fire within the stomach, and the Ayurvedic treatment is performed in connection with the fire element, Agni Mandyam. Since fire is increased by the secretion of bile, the treatment is to increase bile secretion. The Ayurvedic treatment first corroborates the statements in Srimad Bhagavatam. The characteristic of fire in subduing the influence of cold is known to everyone. Severe cold can always be counteracted by fire. Kishore und Mataji, could you sit, könntest du bitte hier sitzen? Can you please sit over here? Because I'm looking at a very strange angle at the moment. Huh? Oh, you must übersetzen, huh? Eva, kommst du ein bisschen? Aber bleib dann da, ja, in diese Richtung, weil es ist ein bisschen durcheinander. Just stay where you are. Stay where you are. Yeah, it's okay. It's when everybody sits over there completely. Then I see sometimes on a YouTube video, I'm like looking like this the whole time. Yeah. Okay. So the translation of the verse once more. Fire is appreciated by its light and its ability to cook, to digest, to destroy cold, to evaporate, and to give rise to hunger, thirst, eating, and drinking. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Shtapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupakramanyam Ratisa Pandidakram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sati Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Blow it out. Blow it out. So today's verse is on this element of fire. There's an interesting line in the purport. It says, when there is insufficient hunger and thirst, it is understood that there is a shortage of fire within the stomach. It's interesting because sometimes as devotees we say, oh, I'm always hungry and thirsty, I always want to have prasadam, I always want to take something on. But some years back, when I went to the doctor, first the Chinese doctor actually, the traditional Chinese doctor told me, you have no fire. You have no fire, no digestion. And I was like, okay, it was limited conversation. I was like, okay. And then I went to an Ayurvedic doctor who also told me, no fire, no fire. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? I don't know, generally doctors don't say that. We have one in the room, I don't know, like a whole, there's no fire. They told me that as the food was going in, my stomach was like a cold pot and no fire underneath it. And nothing could really digest, so it was just like empty. And he also asked me this question, do you get hungry and thirsty? And I was like, sometimes. And it was a time in my life where I would really skip meals unless I wrote down I had to eat. There was literally not so much taste there. It was really like there was no sort of necessity. So I really had to write it down, so I was regularly eating. So generally my body, apparently I'm some sort of pitta, vata type. So a lot of, but generally fire. But the fire, they told me, was sort of debilitated. It does not rise as much. So if you touch my hands, unless it was yesterday in boiling hot, I generally have cold hands, cold. But the circulation is fine and everything, but it's just a lack of fire. When you go to my husband, Ramananda, he has too much fire. So it was very interesting because when we talk about diets, mine was to increase my intake of ginger and no yogurt, and his was like stay away from the ginger and take lots of yogurt inside, for example. And it was interesting on this element of fire. I was trying to think, how did it relate? Oh, my dear, you have nice energy, huh? You see, some babies of our Gita Priya's age, they sit there, they don't make much fuss and much noise, and sometimes the parents are very happy because there's no. But actually, for us as devotees, we're happy that she's very conscious of what's going on right now, She has this life within her that burns. Often we relate to this idea of fire, sometimes in not a negative connotation, but a little bit more in regards maybe to anger or passion. but maybe this is possibly some parts of modern society. Actually, this element of fire, which was a lesson for me to learn, is something that's very necessary in the body. This for me, in general health, if I didn't learn to bring this fire back into the system, then basically I may as well just lay in the bed, because there was no energy to keep the body in motion. And also with the fire element comes life. There's also this element of purification of fire, and also this connotation that we have about that the fact that we are spiritual sparks. A spark normally comes when we are lighting a fire. Around January last year, so 2021, that was a time here, at least in Germany, we were stuck in the trenches of Corona restrictions. And it was difficult to fight the mood. No proper harinams allowed. Every time one person entered the temple, it was like some big radar sign, things like this were going on. And we started a series called Spiritual Spark. This was a time where I think we will mark in the time of ISKCON, where we sort of woke up to the idea of preaching through the internet. Like really, we took this to the next level, be it via Facebook, live Zoom meetings, this element of having not just classes, but really being able to relay things. We have our Nanda Krishna Prabhu here. He already begun this around 3-4 years ago. That is a moment where we could not physically go and meet each other. In fact, it wasn't advised even to come physically. This world of becoming live opened up this place. Also for us in Simhachalam, we really are in the middle of the forest here. So it was amazing for people. It was amazing to be able to reach out to people. In this small group that I had, where we began with chanting Nishinga Kavacha in the temple room. Sometimes a devotee like Ramananda did a yagya, and we chanted Nishinga Kavacham. Govinda Devan Amrita also chanted, I think Toshni Advaita also. We were just trying to gear up, go to the potency of, ask the potency of Lord Nishingadev to enter into those devotees who could not physically be here. And this series of Spiritual Spark was based on what gives us inspiration in our daily life. As a temple devotee, I've been here for 10 years full time. And I know for sure in the first 1 to 2 years, one was really ablaze with this at least external blaze of, wow, service, what can one do? What do we do with the temple? We can make like this and, go here and let's go on Harinam, or let's do this or open. It was a lot of external desire to do something. And as one comes into daily routine of also temple life, slowly this spark can wane, can sort of fade out a little bit. Like, what am I doing? What's happening here? It's like sometimes the fire has not quite gone out. It's just a little bit burning low. So you feel it sometimes, you hear it. I heard it a lot during the times of Corona, and now it feels also within the world situation that things begin to change a little bit more activity. Corona was really like time of stop. You cannot stop. Now it's beginning. Things are not really in place. We have the war going on in Ukraine and different elements that are happening, which are very much in the public eye. But still something begins. So it's like this fire. I heard from others like, wow, okay, we can begin to travel again. We can begin to see what's going on. We can begin to stop being afraid and to see where this fire takes us. So a nice quote from Mahatma Prabhu that I found, which he said, "Everyone has a spark of desire for service to Krishna burning somewhere in the depths of their heart. Our service is to fan that spark into a flame and then into a fire." I sometimes like to use the example of Kishori Kund. When she first came, she came as a humble visitor, came and did a bit of service here and there. And then at one point she was given maybe to make a few flower garlands. And at the beginning it was not that it was a full-time service. It was just sometimes like this. And then one could see when you were with her, her meditation was on the flowers. Aha, maybe I can stop by the neighbor and get some flowers. Oh, we were driving, I'm not sure, but maybe in Passau we could take these flowers. And at one point this service became her full-time service. So for the most part of the week she would be making flower garlands. And so the meditation was on there and how the garland would always look upon Lord Nrsingadev. So it's a small example, but sometimes there is a service which we are given and we can sometimes take it as, okay, yeah, I'm told to do it, though, so I do it. It's almost sort of a bit like an apathetic approach. You know, apathy, okay, yeah, they told me like this. Or we can take it and say, okay, like there's this famous lecture by Radhanath Swami where was speaking about cleaning the pots, and he wanted to clean the pots so well that the pots should smile for Krishna. Huh? They were shiny pots, they really smile for Krishna. And the level of where we take our service can help also to bring this flame about. So of course we make it practical. I will just read one more quote from Radhanath Swami, and then I will talk about our small exercise that we do. Preaching means to see whatever little spark of bhakti in someone and fan it into a blazing fire which will burn all the anarthas or the contaminations and make him a great devotee. So there's overriding feeling sometimes when we are involved in our service and fully involved, our consciousness, our mind, our thoughts about doing it to our best ability, and then more really can burn into the next level. So we're very happy that without asking Amrita, she brought pens, you know. Shows like a connection. Huh? Sometimes I don't do exercises. She did so well. She did super well. Okay, so as prepared earlier, we have a. What do we have here on the board? Can anybody see my? What is it, Amira? What do you see there? Aha, okay. The cushions are no good for this, so I don't. Mataji, she can maybe. I don't know what we have. Okay, so any of you which don't mind, you can draw a picture of it. It's a heart on the board and it's a flame. If art is really not your thing, then you don't have to. But sometimes they say a picture speaks 1,000 words. So sometimes it can just it can just bring the imagination. And because most of us here are temple devotees, it's always an advert. Okay. Yeah, because we're temple devotees, please think of and if you're not, please think of a service, one of the services that you do for Krishna, which you like to do. It may be is a service which you It may be a service which you don't necessarily like every aspect, or it could be a service which you like, but you don't have so much opportunity to do. But somewhere in a bubble, somewhere, just write that service, like Pujari helper or flower garland maker. Just one service, which is... Okay. Does everybody have that service, that one service you've written? Okay. Now try to imagine yourself. You can shut your eyes if you want to, if it helps. Imagine yourself just as you're about to begin this service that you do. And as you prepare yourself to begin this service within your mind's eye, so to say, what comes into your mind as to how you think or feel about this service? What part is it that makes you think, okay, this is why I do this? So sometimes for someone who makes a flower garland, they think, oh, I hope the Lord will enjoy to wear this garland. Oh, I put some fragrant leaves and flowers in. I hope he will enjoy the smell of this garland. I hope the Lord will enjoy that these garlands and these flowers were made by his devotees. If you are a cook, it may also be, now I am cooking some puris for the Lord. And this seed, the dinkel, the spelt that was used to make, came and was made by devotees. It was milled and made into flour by devotees. And now I will prepare this for the Lord. And it will be offered with love and devotion by the pujari who sits on the altar to make this. You may have a service like cleaning. And you may think, wow, when I clean this temple room, I clean some part from my heart. I clean some anarthas from within myself. When I clean this temple room, then devotees who sit on it will be sitting happily and well in the floor before the Lord. When I clean this temple room, the devotees who enter into this space will more appreciate the Lord who sits in the center here. Please now, I give you a few moments, please think for some moments of what connects you to Krishna through the service that you do. And if you have done the service without feeling that connection, think of what could connect you to Krishna in that service. Please write. Yes, please write. Julia? I just explained. So we just write a service that you like to do and all the aspects that make you connect to Krishna with it. I think there's pens up there, okay? So another minute or so. I just say a few words because some people have finished. One of the hardest services I had here for quite some years was as treasurer and office person. And I found this connection very difficult to bring this to Krishna. It was like 6 days a week I was in the office. And I struggled. There were very major material things like a language barrier. I hadn't completed a German course. So imagine looking through a receipt with 100 items and actually you don't understand what any of them are, yeah? and you have to relate this into some sort of bookkeeping language for the Lord. For the Lord. There were also bank problems, many different parts, and I was a little lost in the maze of it all, that I was in the Simhachalam temple and somehow struggling. And I'm not sure who told me, maybe it was in a lecture or at some point, but this point came up that I should offer everything to Krishna. I was like, okay, right, I should offer the receipts to Krishna, I should offer like the phone call, the first, what should I be offering to Krishna? And I couldn't really understand what I should offer, so I didn't. And I continued struggling. And one time, after I'd called the bank with my broken German, so German, you know, where you cannot speak, and you're like, and I'd got the same reply that I had many times. Out of desperation, I took the bank letter, which I could barely understand, and brought it to the Lord like this. It was a quiet time, nobody else was here. And I said, Dear Nishingadev, please help me. I don't know if I'm meant to come to you. I don't want to bother you with all this mundane stuff, but I do this to try to serve you. Please help me. Please find a way. This particular problem was going on for maybe 6 to 9 months. It was some sort of computerization of something that we had in our system. And within 1 week after this desperate but heartfelt prayer to the Lord, He resolved it. It was resolved after 6 to 9 months of suffering. And this gave me like a little confidence. Okay, it's really up to the Lord. Okay, so I worked in my last job in England as a manager, and there I was responsible for budgets. And here the budget doesn't work. Doesn't work because the money seems to go out as quickly as it comes in. It doesn't really. Okay, but it's up to Nishingadev. I try my best to see what we can gather, and what's goes out. And always when there was a time, I remember in the safe, oh wow, we can pay that €5,000 bill for this wood, just the wood chips for the heating. Huh? Now that's even bigger, but then the Lord arranges it. Or sometimes I would write to the other temple board members, does somebody know where that anonymous donation came for €2,000? Just as we have to pay the electricity bill of €2,000. Such things never happened really in the outside job that I did. And one began to understand that the Lord works and protects His devotees. We are like children sometimes. Maybe we're not so good at being saving the money or resourceful or something, but He sees that our intention is there to try to serve Him. And as we appreciate more and more that actually it's not from our own endeavor, but it's from the Lord's reciprocation that enables us to do service, even to serve Him, it grows into another direction. That was my in-between story. What you've written down is always for your private use, so that's the point. But is there anything that somebody wrote down that they want to share with us today about their service and what makes them feel a spark inside? Amira, sorry, I give you the microphone, I'm sorry, but otherwise it's like when you are listening online and suddenly it just goes quiet. It's very frustrating for the viewers.
Okay. First of all, after lecture of your husband, Ramananda Gopal Prabhu, I mean, somehow he was talking like this. I mean, it was some weeks ago or even months. I don't know. Time is flying very quickly here. And he was talking about how we're serving as a community and, I mean, how to have this. I mean, he's very good at this. How to connect everyone with Krishna, yeah. And he was talking about Srila Prabhupada, I think, how he was expert in this, and how we devotees should be. And now when I'm making garlands, you know, after this lecture, I really started to feel like I'm connecting flowers to Krishna. Like I'm enabling them to, I don't know, it's right in Russian here, so like to do what is like the best for them, yeah, to be offered to Krishna, to be, I mean, to be put into garlands, yes, and this is like the best way how can they live in this world, yeah. So for me, it's like a preaching, I think, yeah, because this is my way. I don't know yet how to connect people with Krishna, yeah, but at least I'm starting with flowers. So it's already good, and now I really sometimes walk and think, oh my God, I don't know, do I need to steal this flower to offer it to Krishna or not? I mean, I really want to. And then I'm thinking, okay, some devotees were stealing something to be offered to Krishna. Should I also do it or not? Yesterday I was walking like this in Yandelsbrunn. But yeah, I still didn't steal, but I'm already starting to have these few thoughts. Sorry.
Anyone else from here? Mataji? Yeah.
Should I translate? Давай. Так, говорите. Что?
Сотрудничество с преданными.
Так, господи, сейчас подождите. О май гад. Sorry. Not. Сотрудничество. Сотрудничество, господи, забыла. Cooperation with devotees. To be like valuable in our society. To participate in mission of Srila Prabhupada and to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And thinking about Gurudev, like what he would tell about my service. Какое служение вы писали? For her, I mean, everything that she's doing, all kind of service that she's thinking about this. So it was not one, but like some of them which she really likes.
Anything she transfers it into everything that she does.
Yes.
No? No? Mataji? Shy? Yeah, come on.
I have the service dance, Kathak or Odissi. I like it, and I think it's very nice, and you can show in this way the history and the religion, and you can attract people to know more about it.
You spoke about which Orissa and Kathak.
Yeah.
So this is also, these are devotional dances.
Yes.
So it's like that they like the dance and they think, aha, and this is in connection to the Lord. Huh?
Yes. For example, for Guru, dance for Guru.
Alena? Alena or the Alina? Alena. So thank you, Alena. So once I gave a class just about dancing for the Lord. So this was a very nice point. When we dance, especially Orissa or Kata, the roots are very much in regards to the Lord. Each mudra, each step is in regards to something that donates something for the Lord. Like, I think that is the cow in Bharatanatyam, and this is often the bud that grows into a flower, like this. So everything that we give, when we do general basic Harinam steps and we make them a little bit more elaborate, it is like this. When I was asked that we had our lotus, not our lotus, or our flower, which is a bud, so it still hasn't opened, and we offer this over to the Lord. So we often like this. And then Mataji there, she is in her hand with flowers and offers them over. This is an act of our devotion. As Amira was saying, because we have this word connection, there's an offering. She strings the flowers onto a needle and makes a garland for the Lord. All of these motions can also be given and over to the Lord. Yeah, so that's a very nice point. Möchtest du etwas sagen?
Also ich finde, alles, was man für Krishna macht, bringt Freude. Egal. Freude. Das, was du jetzt machst, uns Wissen zu vermitteln, uns nochmal alles ins Gedächtnis zu rufen, ist auch eine wunderbare Begabung, die man für Krishna nutzen kann.
She says also the service you're doing right now is a really loving act because you're remembering us all, and that's also a nice service to Krishna.
Auch die Buchverteilung, also was unsere Sankirtan-Devotis leisten, ist enorm. Das ganze Wissen, ihre Freude kommt dabei zum Ausdruck, das weiterzugeben an andere, an Unwissende. Und ich hatte so, du musst ja übersetzen.
She says also about like distributing books, especially what the Sankirtan devotees are managing to distribute all the knowledge they have, to talk to the people and then to spread the knowledge of Srila Prabhupada in his books.
Und am Anfang, als ich herkam, mein erster Dienst war putzen. Tempel putzen, Treppenhaus putzen, überall putzen. Und ich hatte eine Freude dabei. Ich habe mir die Musikanlage angedreht. Ja, und habe hierbei getanzt beim Wischen und vor Singadev. Also jedenfalls, ich habe bei allem, was ich immer gemacht habe, immer Freude gehabt. Egal, was man da für Krishna macht. Das ist anders, als wenn ich so dran denke, früher habe ich ja auch viele Dinge gemacht, aber diese Freude hatte ich nicht immer so dabei. Ja, auch beim Kochen oder. Ach so.
So, like the general summary is like everything she does for Krishna, she likes very much, and that's really different to what she did before when she was not in a temple, because there are many things was not so much fun. But now, when she's cooking, when she is doing whatever, she always thinks on Krishna. And one of the greatest memories she has is when she came to the temple many years ago. Her first seva was to clean, and she loved it actually. And every time she cleaned like the temple room, she turned on here our big sound machine, put on some kirtan, and then she was dancing in front of the Lord and cleaning at the same time. That was really joyful.
Noch jemand? Soll ich weiter?
You want to say anything? Or give to you? Oh, ich kann.
Ja.
You want to know? Do you want to give to you, or you prefer? No. And going up and down.
Okay, first about my seva. It's very much connected to Krishna because when I'm cleaning seva, I do not feel like I'm cleaning some building. I feel that it's Krishna's house, So, and Krishna is one who taking care very much about me. So at least now I have a chance to please him and do something for him. And so I'm very happy. And same as kitchen, like I serve Krishna's devotees. It's also important. So this is two things which connect me very much with Krishna. I meditate and have some realization. Also, like walk or doing japa, because here we're very close to the nature. It's also helped me to get some realization. About me as devotee and what I'm doing here, I'm trying to understand that that he has some plan for me, and here's devotees. It's not simple devotees actually. Like I feel devotees more here, and how they are special. So that's what I like to do. And sometimes if I mean, not now, but in general, when I'm doing some paint or embroidery, that's my seva for Krishna through the people. Like I'm trying to put something inside which connects with Krishna, some meaning. So. No, I offering, but it usually it's like, for example, embroidery. It's not just embroidery. It should be lotus, like some symbol, which connect with Krishna. Like anything which is from Shastra, and when I gift it, it's like do at least something which make them connect with Krishna. So it's like a service, not just some flowers or whatever. I'm trying to find some special picture and make embroidery. Otherwise, if another one, it doesn't make sense for me. I like something which has to connect with Krishna, with Rama, with Puranas, anything, any symbol there, and do. And it's like activity, but I turn it to the some spiritual activity. Do you understand? Yeah. Thank you.
Or not? Would you like to say anything? I like your picture. And it is a beautiful picture.
So my picture is actually like a summary of like many things, but the general meaning is that I really like to bring like some structure and some organization to make like temple like nice again, and to keep like a standard that sun is shining over the temple, the devotees are happy, that we can remove like small like thunderstorms.
Structure and organization
For like
metamorphosize into an image of bringing sun
yes,
to the temple,
yeah,
to get rid of storms.
yes, yeah. So it's kind of like all-rounder activities, not one special service.
And what gives you the
Yeah.
spark to the end, the fact that
The light which is coming up, the sun which is shining. It's like actually like this winter here in Bavarian forest was so dark, so foggy, and so long and cold, and then finally the spring came, and I really felt like how the weather influenced the mood of all devotees, and like how all devotees also gain some fresh energy, some enthusiasm. And actually that's quite nice because like with the spring, there's Chaturdasi always coming. And one can really see that just 1 week before Chaturdasi, everything gets green. Before it's winter, but just for Chaturdasi, the leaves of the trees come out, and I think that's all by Nrsingadev's mercy, because he also enjoys his forest outfit made by so many devotees. And that would not be possible without like green trees.
Wow, beautiful. One of the main reasons and thinking behind giving such a lecture, a ladies' lecture in particular, for myself and also as the temple president also was saying, was that as ladies we are a little shy to speak about things. We're a little shy to express it. And to speak and to express that in one light is okay. But sometimes it also leads us to a lack of, what's the word? Some sort of a lack of confidence that there is any devotion in us. Do not misunderstand me, it's good to always remain humble. But it was amazing that all of you, I think there's quite some shy ones amongst us here, but all of you spoke something about what gives some light. And it is, I will make a picture of this because it was very inspirational. One of the words that came up a lot was connection, connection to the Lord, through pictures, through paintings, through flowers. We also spoke about participating in the mission, pleasing Krishna, joy, bringing joy to Krishna through the activities we do, attracting people to the Lord. This is like the whole basis of a lot of what we do in our preaching process. We attract the people to the Lord. And also then when we enter into going into what goes on behind the scenes, the structure, the organization, many things which are thankless tasks, but the Lord sees everything. In the end, we result the light of the Lord that gets us to Krishna. In this way, you can understand that as a group, as a team, one is able as devotees to fan the devotion, to fan that flame of devotion that works within us. All of us have an individual approach to how we see our daily lives. But as devotees, there on the top right, devotees are special in the light that although we have so many different background structures, abilities, ages, cultures, that our main aim and focus is to give it over and serve the Lord. And in this way, we begin and continue to spark that flame. So for me, that was very, very inspirational, that as a group, and a small group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of us here today, maybe more online. But as a group, we're able to spark that fire. And as it grows, we also feel more enlivened. I remember the days of Kishori Kund joyfully cleaning the temple room. First of all, we were like, what's wrong with her? Why is she so happy? And then she just explained, and you saw her the next day also like this, and then the third day also. And then one could appreciate, okay, maybe something is lacking in my own life in this moment. I don't feel this joy, but let me look and let me appreciate that a devotee is joyful in this service, in that hope that it will also rub off, some rub off like some the opposite of an illness, some contagious part where one also feels like, wow, this is amazing. I was so inspired on Sunday. I have to tell this story. Can I? Amrita, am I allowed to tell our Sunday story? So on Sunday, Govinda Dev was invited by the Indian consul, I think from Munich, to to meet the President of India, Modi. Huh? So most important person at present in India, Modi, Narendra Modi. And it felt at the beginning we go to meet him, and a few devotees. Amrita said that she would go, and Narahari, Nandimukhi, and Ramananda, and myself. Okay, we go meet. And as we came closer to the event, it turned out that we were actually invited to a stadium which fit like 6,700 people. So, and we didn't have a private meeting with him. And at that point, I think Govindadev and Amrita already wrote then to the consul and said, is there any opportunity now? It was already our sort of service as devotees was we go to promote our Lord Nrsingadev, to show the temple off. When you have high up personalities who promote such a place, it becomes easier. We know that in the local vicinity there is not as much appreciation maybe for the Hare Krishna culture as there is in India, for example. So we thought, okay, and then somewhere in the week I thought, maybe we could give him a big Nrsingadev, not just a small Nrsingadev, but something with an impact, a big Nrsingadev. I was like, okay, but then I suppose I should paint them. Normally somebody else paints, but I thought, okay, I'll manage this. I don't want to put a burden on anyone, so I'll paint the deity. And then already from some weeks ago, Amrita had spoken about we need to have good flyers, and we need to have them in English. They also had them in German, and it should be really something substantial. And she has this wonderful donation box. We'd never had such a nice box. It's really for the VIPs who give, ones who give extra donation. It's a black box which opens up, where normally if you get, you wouldn't think of throwing it away, even though it's like of card. And then Narahari Mataji came, and I was like, okay, but maybe we don't meet him, but should we still make this? Yes, he should have a deity. And not just this, it's culture that he should get some vastram, he should get some cloth given to him. I was like, okay, so if the cloth and laddus and this promotional activity, and together, very peacefully, somehow we were working together without really meeting so much each other. Here's the cloth. The flyers arrived, says Amrita. Here's which cloth do we have? The Abhishek. Everything came together. But it became more and more clear that we would not have a private meeting with Narendra Modi. We would be in the stadium with maybe 6,700 people. Somehow, we continued. Mataji came and she made a garland for Modi, and Krishna Kshetra Swami, he sent a book via another devotee, his cow care book. Cow care, I think it's called cow care, sorry if I'm wrong, in human ethics. This book arrived on a Saturday, just before the Sunday. So we were armed, and we prepared for, we're in this big, it's like the Audi Dome. It is really a grand place in Munich, with this huge stadium. And we've also got this message to say we were not allowed to take more than our passports and our tickets with us. I won't go into all of the details because I'm not sure it's this, but with struggle and with determination and some, what's the word? Not mischievousness, but we're really we're going to do this. We managed to get these beautiful items into the stadium. It was really a match. Even Ramananda, even until the last moments, didn't have a ticket, It was really and it's everything through these QR codes and this, but Amrita, they managed. They saw. Sometimes when Hare Krishnas go to events, they're like, okay, we will blend in. Just go in your usual jeans or something. But we were also determined we go as elegant devotees. So we were there, and as soon as we arrived, imagine, the stadium has thousands of people. There's a big queue. They saw us. Someone said Hare Krishna. We said Hare Krishna. We were like a group and ready with our spiritual items. Hare Krishna. And then they said, aha, you can go over there to this queue. It was like the VIP area. So they sent us through. Many items we were not allowed some to take through. Ramananda's ticket came through. We were, by hook or crook, able, I would say through Narahari's fearlessness, able to get the deity over into the stadium. And the book, which was confiscated, we managed to get back again from Amrita and Ramananda's ways of being. So we were able to take these items in. Our tickets were also right at the other end of the stadium, which had 2 barriers. By the Lord's arrangement, some devotee came as we were waiting and said, come with me, come this way. So we got into the press and VIP area, which had just 1 barrier in front of the Lord. Somehow in this moment, all 6 of us were really determined that Modi should get these items from Lord Nrsimhadev. He came and he greeted. He didn't go so close to anybody. We waving the leaflet, and then he waved. I think he made like a pranam like this in our direction, but he walked by. And then I was a little bit like, oh, okay. But I could see the resolve on Nandimukhi Narahari's face. The front 2 rows were actually reserved for VIP guests, Dr. So-and-so, this. Nandimukhi Narahari. By some grace, they were told they can sit there. Amrita and Govinda have also got seats somehow there. I went back up a little bit with Ramananda. And as Modi gave his speech, which was inspiring for others, it felt like the others were just in this determination. I was praying, my prayer was, my Lord, if there is a spark of devotion in his heart, please let him take these gifts. Nandimukhi, what did she say to me? She was saying, a lot she was just Narasimha, 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 but also like, please, these are items from the Lord. Please, he will accept them. Narahari looked like that was it. She was going to do it. Govindadev came up and said, they are asking for authorization. And he didn't look fazed, you know. Nandimukhi told me, they asked, who is your authorization? And Nandimukhi said proudly, Narasimhadev. And who is the name of the person? Narasimhadev, she said, yeah. And then Amrita had her camera ready the whole time, click, because this was the main point, also to the publicity, that one is able to document it, to then present it to many others. And we were all waiting. I cannot tell you the last time in my time here where there was so much adrenaline and drive and just this like, how do we manage in this group of thousands of people? He didn't really come close apart from Narasimhadev. Then when we got to the crowd, there were all these guards that came. Indian, so there was some softness. And, please move out of the way. This is a security breach. You cannot go there. You cannot go there. You cannot. And Nandimukhi said, next was like, Narasimha, 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 Narasimha. As per devotees, one does not be impolite. This is also not our way. We stood, and then they told, I don't know if it was Govinda, this is like, Narahari. They were very, very respectful to Narahari as an older Mataji, as a devotee, and they were worried that she would be squashed by the crowds of people coming in. And the guards, we had 2 lady guards, and one of them, she was like, I've been wanting to come to the temple for a long time, but I never managed it. If it's a possibility, we will get the gift over. And we were like, wow, just stay with us. Another guard told us, especially Ramananda and Govinda, to crowd around Narahari Nandimukhi in case the back crowds crowd in when they come. And as Modi finished his speech, one didn't know when it was going to end. He came down. We sort of slowly but surely came together. Nandimukhi Narahari was there, Amrita was there. We came in. And they were shouting, Modi ji, and we were just thinking, Narasimha, 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 Narasimha. And you will see, if you see this beautiful video that Amrita cut together, if you saw it, it was just seconds and moments. He is coming through. He does not stop actually for anybody in this crowds of thousands. That one moment the box isn't Nandimukhi open the box, there's like, because I thought the potency of this deity hopefully also has a potency of our Lord. And you hear, he says something, sorry my Hindi is not very good, but it's like, I can't. It's like, oh, what is this? Like it's something that, I hope it was Super Soul touches him, where and he comes closer. And then Nandi Mukhi is like, Narasimha, Simhachalam temple. And she tells him, take it. And it's like his hand goes out, he takes it. She also puts the cow care book on top of it. Narahari, I didn't know, she's just holding. She's the smallest, I think, person there in the whole thousands of people. She's holding this cloth which has been smeared in Abhishek oil out. And Modi bends down to receive this. We also, I was a little bit, not frantic a little bit to give this pavitram. He also takes the pavitram somehow. Amrita's clicking away. Some fellow supporter is also clicking away and takes the video. It's all combined together. He stopped, he saw, he took. He took these devotional items, this vastram, so this cloth that Narahari said is very important to welcome someone which is covered in our Nrsimha's Abhishek. He wore for the rest. And if you saw the video, he clicks.
Usually if Modi stops and he gets something, he puts it immediately away.
Yeah.
But this wasn't like he kept it and he left the whole stadium with this.
And later on, he put it on even more secure on. Yeah. And one of this part was, okay, it's a politician, blah, blah, blah. But the element of Modi was that he has done many devotional acts. This coin that's commemorated Srila Prabhupada, this big, the largest Bhagavad Gita book you can see on the internet where he goes to the temple to publicize in that way through this major thing of shutting down the slaughterhouses of cows. Many, many elements where one saw that of course there's this element of politician, but also some element of yogi and of devotion. And when these elements were, these items of prasadam and the deity and the cloth and the leaf, everything was given over. One could understand that without speaking, we also came as a team together. Somehow the Lord united us in this moment with our determination. At least 5 times in that, it was like over a period of 4 or 5 hours, we could have given up. But somehow we were fired up together, and in the end the Lord reciprocated. So it was really for me a very nice example of how one could just say, I'll leave it, it's not going to happen. Or I say, no, by the Lord's grace everything is possible. And there it made. Sorry, I ran over time. I'm in trouble. Just wanted to share that with you and encourage us by saying one can ask others to be encouraged when one is encourage oneself. And in this moment, one feels that encouragement, that as a team, many things can happen as service. When we remember any of these points, especially the ones significant for ourselves, it will drive us in our spiritual life. And in the end, wonderful things will emerge with that. Ultimately giving us that joy that we want in connection to the Lord. Any questions, or I think we are a little short on time?
Just comment. Thank you for sharing the story, because it was not you can't really see but you experienced it there.
Yes. Imagine we left at, what time we left? At just 8:30 in the morning. We came back at 8 for 12 hours. We were gone, and it was this meditation. I mean, I have to say, some of us felt sick, and I had this cracking headache, but it was just this part of, wow, the Lord reciprocated. The Lord gave. So sometimes it's not that it's also easy flying. And yes, many hours that you can then see in these, how many, a minute of footage, just condensed into this moment. But one can understand it's a process, the process of what we do and how we go into it. It was amazing, huh? I actually have to say I was fanned by Amrita's desire, because I was like, okay, she's going to meet Modi, okay, nice, like, Hare Krishna, hello. And she's like, no, this is our best way to promote Lord Nrsimha, if it's our best way for them to understand here locally that actually we're a legitimate religion, a legitimate place, and actually it's sort of essential, for what we do. We're not something which is a nuisance, but actually we promote the essential way of life, what we call Sanatana Dharma, oder? So this is our part. I don't know if me and Amrita will find some time, but it's really sparked a desire that we should be writing articles and other things just to give some small education in terms of what the Hare Krishna movement is for the local and national Germans and other people who don't maybe understand. But we see Krishna has to give the time. Or he just has to send a resource and another person who gives this. For example, it's not, I talk about another point. See, it begins, then one can hardly stop it. I don't know if Alina begins dancing and then you're like, oh no, I only wanted to dance for 1 hour, 3 hours have already gone, huh? It's like this. Yeah. I also saw some Kathak dancing and I was thinking, oh, I would like Kathak. Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Wishing you all a wonderful week. At 5 o'clock we have our Transcendental Kirtan. If anyone is there to come along, please come along, 5 till 6. And we will make sure it shuts at 6 o'clock, because at 6 o'clock we have a meeting, mostly Ukraine devotees here, just for half an hour to talk about any needs that you may have and social outings, okay? Hare Krishna.
Das von dir, ja?